Welcome to the Unsung Photographer. Hey there, boys and girls. Bob Kearns, the Unsung Photographer, and today we're taking a little field trip to Bristol, Pennsylvania, and we're going to be looking at the Grundy power plant, what's left of it, a few little grains. I've been coming out here now for a couple of weeks as they've slowly tore down this building. It was built in 1915. It was an old steam power plant that drove some of the industrial stuff here in the Grundy Mills, and we're going to go have a look around. The whole point of this is that you guys all need to get up off your duff, get outside, and go find something to shoot. It may not be the thing you typically shoot. It may not be something that you've done before or seen before, but be aware of your surroundings and what's going on in the community, and you're going to find some interesting things to go take pictures of. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. So let's go ahead and go have a look at the Grundy power plant. We're parked right beside it here, and I hope you like what we have to see. We'll talk about what we photograph and how we photograph it. All right. Well, here we are. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty impressive. The jaw crusher. A couple gents here, and there's all that's left of the building. Just a pile of rubble and rocks. This is the location of our first pictures here. We just look at that pile of crushed stone and torn up steel. It's pretty interesting. We can still see a couple of guys there off to the right and the actual machinery. Well, now we're going to take a walk around front. So forgive me, I don't have a stabilizer here. This is an old steel truck. Here to pick up some steel. I want you to have a quick look at this steel here on the video, and you can see there's a couple of bolts there. It must have been some kind of repair. The old square-headed bolts. Big pieces of sheet steel. That could have very well been part of a boiler. Or some kind of safety wall, or support, or even a floor, who knows. Pretty unidentifiable now. Reinforced concrete is a really very early use of it for industrial stuff. The old reinforcement rods, very different than what they use today. Oh, and there's a shot up there we got to get. Those two crossed beams. That's a pretty nice shot. I like that. Let's have a look around here. Take a walk out front, past some of the heavy equipment. We're shooting with a Nikon D800 today and a 17 to 35 millimeter wide-angle lens. The way things are parked here are very impressive because they appear, they're up on top of these mounds of stone, and gives them a sense of power. If you go up a little higher here, it's tough to see on the screen. See those three objects there? That makes for an interesting photograph. All right, I'm going to have a little cut here and let's see what this looks like. Okay, that was a pretty interesting shot. We're setting our exposure today by a very technical method called Sunny 16. The Sunny 16 rule is really pretty simple. You have the ISO. Well, it used to be ISO of your film or the ASA. Nowadays you can set it. Right now I'm set at about 400 because I have some film with me that is 400, so I figured I'd shoot the digital and the film the same way. And then you set your exposure, your aperture at f/16, and your shutter speed at 1 over your ASA value, so that'd be about 1/400th of a second, or as close as you can get. Maybe 1/500th might be as close as you can manage. But again, some fairly impressive stuff here. A lot of work. Oh, here's another interesting shot where we're using the arm of the heavy equipment to form a frame for the what's left standing in the building. So hang on. And we're just a little further down here, and you can see the massive amount of steel that they pulled out of this building is just unbelievable. Again, a very old industrial building. We're shooting the same way. I just thought it was a really interesting juxtaposition here where we have this big pile of steel and the rubble there in the distance is sort of its source material, something along those lines. And again, we haven't changed anything, our exposure or we're still at the F16, 1/400th of a second, 1/500th of a second at ISO 400. You can see where I'm standing here. You can see behind me all the destruction. And just to let you know that these things are absolutely fabulously fascinating, and you should really go look around. And things that are being built, things that are being destroyed, are part of that cycle of life. And it's really something to pay attention to. All right, I wanted to shoot just a little 4K while I'm out here. Well, I did have one final request. Folks that want to learn, other people that are into photography around you, your friends on Facebook, let them know that the Unsung Photographer's here. Please feel free. Share, share, share. It's so important that we take what we know and spread it around as widely as possible. And I am really looking forward to doing that. And I need your help to make sure that the folks that you know are aware of this resource, that you can communicate with me. I totally would much appreciate any questions or anything that you guys would interested in the world of photography. Anything from studio photography, landscape photography, sort of like adventures like this. It's all cool stuff. Go ahead and ask the questions. You want to know about exposure, aperture, lighting, different kinds of cameras, film, digital, micro four thirds, full frame, APS-C sensors. Go ahead and ask the question, and we'll see what we can do for you. If I can't answer it, I have other resources of folks around me that can probably answer it. So go ahead and ask. Don't forget, share, share, share. Thanks, guys.
Shall we begin?